Hi, 642 friends. When I give grades, I'd like to give some kind of feedback because I could see there was a skip in the video, sorry. Because just like if we weren't in an in-class situation, I wouldn't just hand back a paper. I'd want to give some kind of context. So today's topic is discussions 1 and 2. But before I begin with that, I wanted to say congratulations to the new mom in our class, Michaela, in the World Mixed Group. Had a baby, so congrats. And there'll probably be more congrats along the way this semester. So I'm just waiting for permission to share one other congratulations that I know about in our group. Okay, so the week 1 I just marked as complete. And I wanted to tell you my impressions of that discussion. First, I really appreciated you uploading video and audio and giving me a chance to get to know you guys a little bit better. And what I took from that discussion is that you guys see a lot of the power and the value in the library role and the library space is allowing for this inquiry process to occur. And through that, we're really meeting the needs and building independent learners. And we're meeting diverse needs that way through our spaces and role, and how we can celebrate all learners in our libraries. And the library program can assist in this voice and choice and student use of technology, not just for the tool's sake, but for really having students demonstrate what they've learned and do project-based learning and a lot of other valuable uses of technology that way. So this will all take, baby steps. So if your program isn't, if you feel like, it's not meeting the needs of all learners or allowing for the inquiry process like I would like it to, find your allies and remember it takes years and a lot of cooperation with others to build the library program that you want. So take some time to celebrate where you are and then, keep working on those goals for your next steps. The second week, I gave a grade using our rubric. So it isn't just marked complete or incomplete, but you'll see a grade. And I gave you feedback. And what I took from that discussion was the importance of not underestimating your ability and role as a coach, which one of our groups, it might have been the Milwaukee Mixed Group, renamed instructional collaborator. They were afraid that the coach sounded like a higher level kind of position. And a lot of you are doing coaching, even if it's just kind of in the reference interview way. That came up. And like planning, which may often happen in a very informal way in the hallway or just while chatting. A lot of coaching goes on in that informal way too. And by being an extra pair of eyes and ears, you really do have a lot of value. And you see sometimes all the kids in a building, or maybe 2 or more, but you really have insight into the students. And a lot of times you'll see a whole variety of teachers at work. And so you really have the expertise of the whole building if you're that hub. And so don't hesitate to share with others. And it doesn't have to be something you do, but it could be something you saw Mr. So-and-so do in his class. That was so amazing. So definitely, you're the expert and you can earn a lot of clout in, working with particular students. If you see strategies that work with specific students, certain resources that will support your teachers or technology tools or even just tricks and tips. Teachers can be very isolated. So whatever support and help you can offer, that will build those relationships. I saw a lot of good discussion about leveling books, and in the library, you can try to counter that. I know some of my most avid book level fanatics, I had to make a different checkout rules for those classes, and I would say, oh, and you also get to check out a book for me, because their teacher wouldn't like it if they took a book that wasn't their level, but I liked it. And so they would have like their teacher books and then one or two librarian books. And so sometimes it's true they checked out a lot of books, but that's what, at least in Wisconsin, that's what common school funds are for, right? The more, the merrier. So, however you can accommodate being a force. I mean, teachers are feeling the pressure to have kids read books at a level, and that's fine. But if you can provide an alternate venue or an alternate kind of psychology behind checking out books just for student interest and enjoyment. I realized that another thing that came up was a shortage of in-service time and time with teachers. And definitely anytime you can piggyback on somebody else's presentation with showing the technology that will assist with what the other person is teaching, that can be a good avenue to work your way in. Maybe if the reading specialist is doing the in-service, but you have the technology side or the copyright side or things like that. Maybe even if the principal is promoting something new. I know some of you said they're matching standards with lessons. Maybe there's a spreadsheet kind of tool that would help your teachers so they're not, or linking, so they don't keep rewriting the same standards. Maybe if you built something that had hyperlinks to the different standards, some kind of cooperative in service might be possible even if you can't get the stage as often as you want. And along with that, any kind of collaboration is good collaboration. So a lot of you were talking about your informal experiences where you're in the class and you just say, oh, what are you guys doing? Okay, well, in the library, I'll do this. And once the teachers see that you're building those bridges, they'll hopefully jump in and cross them. Okay, so besides the first week discussion and second week discussion, my third and final topic, because I think I'm much longer than I ever care to be, is I wanted to say that you guys really had excellent interactions on the discussion board. I appreciated how you're acknowledging what other people post and really thinking about what they post and responding to it. You're being very supportive of each other. And I think that will make the discussions super valuable. And I want to encourage you to get critical. Most of the class was already looking at the text through a critical lens, like, that's what they say. How does that really play out? And I want to encourage you to do so. So use the text as evidence for whatever your opinion is on one of the discussion questions. So your post should not just be your personal experiences. It should be backed up by what you've read in the text, or refute what you see in the text and say why you don't think that works or that's appropriate, or build off those theories with some others that you know. There were a lot of great resources shared and a lot of great connections made. So don't be afraid, use things like, well, as Dunham says, or like Dunham suggested, or unlike what Dunham suggested, here's what's going on at my school. Another great way to frame your posts is, at first, I thought this, and now I think this way. I definitely saw that in this week's discussion too. So, oh my gosh, I'm almost at 10 minutes. Sorry about that. And most of my updates will be much shorter. And I'll see you in the course.